Hi, here is Ivona Wilson again, and if you are watching me, I assume that you are someone involved in initiating, developing, or managing complex projects such as those in the resource sector, whether it's in oil and gas, renewables, mining, maybe nuclear energy, government, or even construction. So if you are looking for ways to increase the success rate of your projects, you are in the right place. In the previous video, I talked about my background and gave you an overview of the stage gate process. I also talked about what each phase is about and what gates are for. In this video, I want to share with you how to scale this framework so that it can apply to any project, no matter what size or complexity. Why would you scale? You don't want to do too much just because the framework says so. When you know the principles and how the system operates, you can really make the stage gate process agile, fit for purpose, and friendly for teams. And I know I might surprise some of you, but the stage gate model can be as flexible and agile as you want it to be. And I will go over 4 different ways that you can use. So let's just get into this. Number 1, combining phases. By combining phases and reducing gates, it takes quicker to move from the assess phase to the execution phase, which I recommend for projects with a low level of uncertainty or low complexity. So generally speaking, it's a suitable approach for those opportunities that don't have many solutions to analyze, and rather a straightforward approach might be best, like some sort of improvement initiatives or brownfield modifications with a low level of risk and stakeholders engagement. However, we need to understand that the impact of combining phases versus a typical development using all 5 phases. Firstly, it can be a high cost, as one phase is strongly dependent on the previous phase and often done by different contractors. It might create a lot of rework and thereby increase the cost. Secondly, teams that choose to combine phases are often under a lot of time pressure. And since time to execution is extremely crucial project result, this can lead to errors and rework. And thirdly, you may encounter a lot more conflict between different stakeholders and even between different team members as to what to do first and who should lead the work. So it is critical to understand that you can't just cut out phases. The work needs to go somewhere, but we can reorganize what work can be done when to achieve a more fit for purpose approach. The second way to scale is to expand the stages of phases by adding an extra gate. And this approach is especially useful for high complexity and high cost projects where, for example, we might add an extra gate between the concept select and concept definition, and we might call it a concept screening, for example. And this often happens in order to better manage the concept phase where key critical decisions are being made, such as which solution should we consider. The third way to scale the overall process is by categorizing, which influences not only the number of phases and gates, but also the type and amount of deliverables, assurance activities, and the type of people that should be involved. So you want to organize your opportunities or projects into different categories. For example, the category 1 might be for large projects with high cost, high level of uncertainty, highly complex with brand new technology and significant stakeholders management issues. The category 2 might be for medium projects of medium cost, a tolerable level of uncertainty and risk, proven technology with some stakeholders management issues. And category 3, for example, could be for small projects, generally modifications to the existing plant, typical projects of low cost and low need for stakeholders engagement. And then based on the category, your roadmap will change. It doesn't need to be 5 phases. It could be anything from 2 to 5 or even more. The number of deliverables will change, the number of assurance reviews, the duration of your framing workshop will change, as well as the requirement for who needs to make decisions. For example, for category 1, maybe vice presidents and CEO need to be involved in all decisions at each gate. However, for category 3, the key decisions could be made by functional managers at the functional level. Don't forget that as your opportunity moves up to the next phase, you need to confirm the category as the cost, level of risk, and complexities might change. So the higher the complexity of the opportunity, the more assurance, more peer reviews, more deliverables, and often more experienced people are required to join the team. Right, the last tip, the fourth tip I would like to share with you on how to scale the StageGate model is by introducing agile methods at the right time as you develop your opportunity. Look, agile method works really well for digital projects. However, when you're dealing with creating physical assets, you need to think strategically about when integrating agile would give you the most advantages. And one way to do it is by bringing your customers all the way to assess phase, or breaking up concept phases into several different workshop sprints in order to move faster through the phase. Agile is all about iterations, but you wouldn't want iterations on the asset as you are creating, especially if you are in the execution phase. Therefore, Agile wouldn't work in execution phase. So I recommend using Agile only in the first 3 phases. The next question you probably have is, when is the right time to conduct scaling activities? So at the start of the first phase, as part of the opportunity framing workshop, which kicks off the whole StageGate process in the assess phase, and this is a good time because this is when you identify and discuss what the roadmap will be for your entire opportunity. You also address what requirements needs to be made for each phase in order for you to move to the next phase. So in a summary, we talked about 4 different ways that you can scale the StageGate process. And in the next video, I'll share with you what is the opportunity framing workshop. Right, thanks for watching and stay tuned.